Keeping up with AI is the fastest way to fall behind. Every time you jump to the next shiny AI tool, you lose the depth that actually matters. And the winners in 2026, they won't know the most tools, but instead they will have built the deepest systems. I'm talking about your Personal AI Augmentation System, a foundation built specifically for how you work. And once it's built, it gets more valuable each day. This is why I'm giving you the exact 3-phase framework I used as a COO of a startup that raised $18.9 million and now used to help thousands of professionals build these same systems. Let's get into phase 1, which is about building your AI tool stack. Your AI tool stack is the set of tools you commit to, and you block out everything else. You go deep instead of wide. Most people treat AI like it's the grocery store. New option on Twitter, add it to the cart. Cool new model. Gotta try it. Suddenly, you've tested 47 new tools with nothing to show for it. And this is creating an AI graveyard, which is killing your progress because every time you switch, you trigger context switching loss. You have to relearn interfaces, you have to rebuild muscle memory, and you have to refigure out what prompts work with this system. It's sort of like starting a new job every month. You never get past the initial onboarding. So how exactly do you build out your AI tool stack? Well, you make a decision on your tools and then you use them. Then periodically, call it every 30 or 60 days, you search for specific tools that you have a use case for and see if there is a tool that could help solve the problem that you have. This way, you can stay up to date without constantly chasing the next shiny object. And when you are looking, you're looking with intention to solve an actual problem you have. If you want an exact breakdown of every AI tool I use and why, that is linked in the description. And if you have a specific use case where you're wondering what tool I think is best, comment below. But here are 3 of my favorites. Claude is my go-to for writing and coding. If you go to claude.ai, it's $20 a month for Pro, which is exactly what I use. I find Claude is the best for creative writing as well as writing code. Tool number 2 is Gemini/Nano Banana Pro. I use this for image generation and anything that integrates directly in Google Workspace, which is what I use to run my business. The third tool is Superhuman, which is specifically for emails. I've sent over 8,500 emails with this. I've marked over 100,000 emails as done. If you spend time on emails, I highly recommend this tool specifically for the keyboard shortcuts as well as its direct integration with AI. And then the last tool is Notebook LM, which is perfect for research. What it allows you to do is upload specific contextual information to a contained environment so you can ask specific questions just about the resources you provided. It's like a contained workspace and it ignores all external information, so it just pulls from the information you want. And I know a lot of the people watching this are professionals working in a professional setting. And so if your company mandates specific tools, let's say you have to use Gemini at work, I would try and use that same tool outside of work. This way you're not splitting energy, but instead you're compounding all in the same stack. Now, the beautiful part on all of this is that once you commit to a stack, the decision fatigue disappears and you can now just focus on going deeper and learning the tools better. Zooming out, you've now built a foundation of your personal AI augmentation system. Your stack is locked in, the noise is blocked out, but that's only the first 30% of the equation. The other 70%, that's teaching these tools to work like you work. Which brings us to phase 2, which is my personal favorite. Phase 2 is about optimizing your workspace. This is where you stop using AI like a search engine and you start using it like a trained employee who actually knows how you work. We're in the middle of a fundamental shift. For the past 200 years, the game was simple. Specialize in one thing, make a lot of money. Be a lawyer, be a doctor, be an engineer. This was known as the knowledge economy, but that game has just ended. We're entering what I call the allocation economy, where you get compensated for directing AI systems, not just for having the knowledge yourself. The example I like to use here is think of a chef versus a restaurant owner. The chef cooks every dish, complete control, but can only serve so many customers. The restaurant owner, on the other hand, they set the menu, they train the staff, and they're able to manage multiple cooks simultaneously, in turn, serving hundreds of people. In the AI era, you want to be the restaurant owner, not the chef, or be the AI manager, not the person still doing tasks manually. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said it best. The IT department of every company is going to be a HR department of AI agents in the future. So think about AI as an employee. Would you hire someone and then throw them into work the next day without any context? No, you wouldn't. You would train them. You would show them what a good output looks like. You would give them examples. You would explain the tasks. And that's exactly what you need to do with AI. You need to give it training data. And there's 2 types of training data. Type 1 is your best work. This is everything that represents what good looks like to me. This can be past reports. This can be emails that you sent. This can be proposals that close deals. This teaches AI your voice, your structure, and your preferences. And then the second type is your North Star. These are examples that are better than your current work. This could be a colleague's report that impresses executives. This could be a competitor's content that just hits different. Your best work improves efficiency. Your North Star improves quality. And for these, you need both. Here's exactly how to set this up. I use Claude Projects, which is basically a workspace where you add documents, guidelines, and examples, and everything in that workspace or that project has access to all of this context automatically. It's like training an assistant and then continuously working with them versus having to start from scratch every single time. And this isn't only for Claude. ChatGPT, Grok, they have projects, which is the same idea. Gemini has gems. Perplexity has spaces. Use whichever feature matches your current stack. They all have the same principle of creating a contained environment that you can continuously work with. Here's an example project that helps me ideate and revise YouTube scripts that I write. I bring in past scripts that I wrote that worked well. I have a brand voice guidelines document, I have a target audience profile, and I have North Star examples from creators I respect. To set this up, create a project for each major area of your work. And this is a project that you're continuously working on. This can be writing project docs. This could be managing employees. Think about things that you continuously do. Next, you want to upload relevant documents. This can be your past work, style guides, or examples of good work. The third step is write a custom instruction for how you want it to behave. Think of this like a prompt that gets ran automatically every time you start a new chat within this project. The pro tip here is I wouldn't write these yourself. Just ask AI to write an optimized system prompt for whatever goals you have. The fourth step is start using these projects. Now, this is the basics, but if you want to go to the next level, I suggest creating a consultant project that can serve as a second opinion about your output. For example, let's say you were a product manager and you were a big fan of Elon Musk and all the product advice he's given in the past. You could bring in transcripts from all of his interviews and make an Elon Musk consultant project, and you use that project to run ideas by Elon before you go ahead with them. This way you can get curated feedback from people that you most respect. After you've set up a consultant that can advise on your final output and provide curated feedback, you've set up a foundation that not only streamlines creating the final product, but also can help creating a better final product. And the best part is, every time you work on this specific project, you're not starting from scratch. You're building on a foundation that compounds over time. Before we get to phase 3, which is the most powerful, but where people make the biggest mistakes, I created a free 5-day email course that goes deeper on everything we're covering. Each day I cover a specific trap that I see most people fall into. By the end of this email course, you'll have a different swagger and you'll feel irreplaceable in the age of AI. If you want it, click the first link in the description. It's entirely free, and based on hundreds of reviews, I'm pretty confident you're going to love it. All right, let's get into phase 3, which is about setting up AI agents and workflows. Your stack is locked in, your workspace is optimized. Now it's time for the final layer, building systems that run without you. This is where you go from AI makes me faster to AI works for me. But before you automate anything, you need to understand a massive shift that's happening right now. We're moving from work 2.0 to work 3.0. So work 1.0 was traditional office work. Everyone showed up, sat at desks, followed hierarchical command structures. Work 2.0 opened up the digital workplace. Remote work, companies hired offshore talent, moved customer service to India, software developers to Eastern Europe, humans managing humans across the world. Now, Work 3.0 is fundamentally different. AI works with humans to complete tasks, a few human employees managing dozens of AI agent employees. And where most people get wrong about Work 3.0 is they think it's all about automation. And in reality, it isn't. There's two ways to use AI in your workflows: augmentation and automation. Augmentation is when AI helps you do the work. You're still in the loop, reviewing, refining, and approving. Automation, on the other hand, is AI does work end to end. There's no human involvement. But 90% of what you think needs automation actually needs augmentation. Here's a filter that I run every task through. The first is this the sauce? If this task is your value, your judgment, your taste, your expertise, don't automate it, augment it. For example, if you're a social media manager, never automate the entire content creation process. This is what you're literally getting hired for, and this is your sauce. Now, you can use AI to help augment the process, but figuring out an automation to do the workflow, that is a no-go. Second is, what is the cost of error? Think of AI like hiring an intern. Would you trust an intern to send emails directly to your biggest clients? No. But would you trust them to maybe draft a report or draft an email? Sure. It's the same with AI. Think of it like an intern. The third is if it's repetitive and it's low stakes, now we're in automation territory. Having this mental framework connects to exactly how you actually build out these systems. When you're thinking about automation versus augmentation, there are two types of tools that you'll often see people use: AI workflows and AI agents. Think of AI workflows as a step-by-step process to complete a task. Step 1, step 2, step 3. It's clear and defined, and the outcome is more predictable. Think of AI agents, on the other hand, as you give it a task, it figures out how to do it, and then it comes back with the final product. You don't necessarily know what steps it's going to take and how it's going to complete it, but you expect it to produce a final product that aligns with your initial ask. These two concepts are often thrown around together, but that distinction is really important. At the top level, we have AI augmentation and AI automation. Depending on what you want to do, you can use AI workflows or AI agents. Those are tools to help you achieve these two things. And then going one layer deeper is how do you actually set up these AI workflows or these AI agents? Now let's look at various tools you can use, and I've broken them down into categories. Category 1 is Workspace AI agents, and these live in tools you may already use. One is ChatGPT Agent. It can take action for you, search the web, analyze websites, adjust files, and execute multi-step processes. I have it search Zillow for properties matching my criteria, create comparison spreadsheets, and pull comps. And you can also schedule it to run, let's say, every Monday. I have a full video breaking down ChatGPT Agent use cases if you want to dive into that. Notion Agent, much like ChatGPT Agent, but it interacts directly with your Notion workspace. I also have a video deep diving into use cases on this if you're interested. Category 2 is specialized agents. These are agents designed for a specific job. If you think of AI agents like employees, these are employees trained on a specific field. And at the startup I was a COO for, we use Devin daily for low cost of error code. Let's say website styling, copy changes, UI tweaks. And what was wild is that people who weren't engineers could now fix issues on websites. They would create a ticket, assign it to Devin, and give it instructions like it was talking to an employee. Next thing you know, the code was written and the bug was fixed. This is Work 3.0 in action. Non-engineers managing AI engineers. And then personally, I use Claude Code for building. The 5-day email course that I mentioned earlier, I built that entire website with Claude Code. Another category is AI workflow tools, and this is for fully custom build-outs. The specific tool I use here is N8N, which is really powerful. Think of Zapier meets AI meets low-code solutions. The prompt chaining and the evaluator optimizer loops that I mentioned earlier, these are things that you can very easily set up with N8N. I also have deep dives on my channel on how to set these up, so you can also check that out. This last phase is the most powerful, but yes, it is the most complex, and it's where most people make mistakes. So if you are a business owner or you are looking to transform your operations into an AI-first system, I do offer free strategy calls where I'll audit what you're doing and identify immediate wins. This is entirely free. If you click the second link in the description, we'll dive through your business, talk about what you've done, what you haven't done, and find immediate action items that you can implement right after that call. If that sounds interesting, click the second link in the description. Let's hop on a call and let's improve your business. Okay, so your AI stack is locked in. You know exactly what tools you're using and you're not looking at shiny objects anymore. Your workspace is optimized. You've set up projects, you've set up systems, and you've gathered contextual information that changes AI outputs from good to great. And you also now understand what you should augment versus what you should automate and the ways to do it. Once you go through these 3 phases, you have something that compounds over time, and by the end of 2026, you'll be on a whole new level. Now, if you like this video, you'll love this one where I break down the 8 AI tools that will separate winners from losers in 2026. I go way deeper into each tool and show you exactly how I use them. If you got this far, you are a legend, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.